Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their clients. And let's applaud Lawyers Who Care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Jacob Tingen. He's the managing partner of Tingen Law in Richmond, Virginia, and Jacob practices immigration law and has served thousands of clients since his admission to the bar in 2012. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you, Andrew, and thank you for inviting me onto your podcast.
My pleasure. So, Jacob, tell us how you came to the firm, or tell us how you came to the law more generally.
Yeah, so I graduated from law school in 2012. It was a difficult economy for lawyers at the time. And looking at my options, I had worked with entrepreneurs before law school, and so just decided to 30 days after being admitted to the Virginia bar, just started my own practice. And so that's kind of how it got started. And here I am today. It's now been 13 years later, and I've got a law firm with 4 lawyers and plenty of staff. It's been an adventure, but it's been worth it.
So the lifestyle choices of either, starting your own 30 days after, you pass the bar, or the choice of being at other than starting boutique, but rather working at a boutique or a mid-level firm or a big law, how did that, what was the thought process there?
Well, I was encouraged by other entrepreneurs that I'd seen who had done it. And I very much consider myself a business person first and a lawyer second, because I just enjoy entrepreneurship. Although I would say that I am very happy that this is the kind of business that I run. I do enjoy the people aspect, and immigration is by its nature like very human. And so I get a chance to frankly just change the course of people's lives for the better. And that's super rewarding. Yeah.
Wonderful. And do you have a great client story that you want to share with us?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you how I got started. So when, like I mentioned, difficult to get started, difficult to find a job, 2012, the economy was not great. And so I reached out to a friend of mine, a lawyer who had been in charge of a pro bono legal clinic while I was at law school, did immigration. I did not originally envision myself doing immigration law. I thought I'd do something more corporate. But as I was hungry for work and looking for cases and fluent in Spanish, I reached out and said, hey, is there a chance that I could take on a couple of pro bono cases? And I left a voicemail. And then he called back and said, Jacob, could you take on a couple hundred? Because he was moving from one firm to another. And there was a decision that he couldn't take his pro bono caseload that he'd done through the legal clinic with him. And so probably for the first 2 years of law, I ended up with about 150 of those 200 clients. They were, of course, given the option to go wherever they wanted to go. And so I represented many of those clients pro bono or low bono, and was able to build my practice. And so that was, I remember telling my wife, I'm like, are we doing this? And she said, get malpractice insurance, which is always a good idea. I didn't really need it, which was phenomenal. And a shout out to University of Richmond Law School, because I was prepared to be a lawyer from day one, which is fantastic. But in terms of a specific case, early on, I had a client come to me, not from that set of 150, but a client who had been interviewed by other lawyers and who told him, hey, you don't have a great asylum claim. He was a doctor from Colombia who opposed FARC, which, if you know anything about Colombia and FARC, they're a terrorist organization. He'd been kidnapped before. They'd come up to his house and shot at it with machine guns and other things. For nuances of asylum law, different attorneys had told him, hey, this isn't a strong case. But I believed in him and his case. We took it to the asylum office and we won. And just the other day, I was emailing with him, and he's now a professor of oral surgery in New York, which is pretty amazing to see immigrants come to the U.S., start from nothing, and rebuild their lives here in the U.S. It's a great feeling.
Mm-hmm. And from that has shaped those first, 150 or so, low or no bono cases. And your story has certainly changed since then in the following 13 years.
Yeah, so I mean, those first clients, they're very important to me. Most of them have kind of gone through the system. Very few of them have ended up being deported, being removed. Um, and there is an element where a lot of people think lawyers are about money, and of course, we're all trying to make a living. But I have one client who she's from El Salvador, and she will bring me warm pupusas once a year. She just brings a tray. She kind of calls ahead and says, "Hope you didn't bring a lunch because I'm bringing for you." And she
Yeah.
just kind of brings a spread for the office. And it's those moments that kind of make me say, yeah, this is what it's about. Like there's this human element that I think we often forget about in the law, that the choices we make and how we choose to move a case forward and who we choose to represent has an impact, makes a difference in people's lives.
And so, if folks, as they're watching this, if you could leave our listeners with one takeaway, what would that be?
I would say that when it comes to doing pro bono, if you're a lawyer that is on the fence about whether or not it's worth doing it, I'm a big believer in pro bono. Even now today, I will teach a course as adjunct faculty at University of Richmond Law School, and we'll take a pro bono case and we'll have law students help us work on it. Um, there are so many people who need our help, and it's help that only we can give as lawyers. And maybe that's not the way the world ought to be, and all sorts of interesting things about more existential questions. But in the world we have and the system of laws we have, there's immense opportunity for those who are trained lawyers to do something. And so we might think, hey, I'm not ready. That thought definitely crossed my mind at the beginning. You might not know who to go to or where to find information or resources. But as you dive in, you will discover very quickly that the tools you have as a lawyer have equipped you with to quote Liam Neeson, a particular set of skills that you can use for good. And so I think that there's an advantage. People listen to lawyers for better or worse, and it's incumbent on us to do good with that.
By the way, I'd like to thank my guest, Jacob Tingen of Tingen Law. Jacob, can you provide our audience with your contact information?
Yes. So Tingen Law is my law practice. We are based in Richmond, Virginia. You can find us online at tingen.law. You can also give us a call at 804-477-1720. We'd love to hear from you. We do immigration issues and cases of all sizes, from humanitarian and family cases to business law and business immigration cases. And so we'd be happy to help you and be here for you and help you with the same passion and dedication that we bring to each and every single one of our clients.
Wonderful. By the way, this has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. Jacob is a perfect example of that. And if you're an attorney or know one who does go above and beyond, feel free to reach out to us, 914-666-6600. Jacob, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Andrew.